Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world family. So, I'm going to run this. So, Vedic vision, which is for us as Prabhupada's vision, and Prabhupada is sharing that vision with all of us and the rest of the world. So, we have to also become visionary like Prabhupada. Once he was asked, "Oh, why have you come, Swamiji, why have you come to the West?" And Prabhupada, one time he said, "I want to change the way world thinks." I just wanted to see the way world thinks. Yeah, I said that verse, I am Nija, these are my people, but these are some outsiders. And this happens at all different levels, even within one family there are two parties or two divisions or two splits, or within a state, within a country, even within a religion also. The Christianity has hundreds of denominations. We call Christianity, but it's not one. But then, again, how unity and diversity could be achieved, that also is something to think about. Ganana Laghu Chetasam. Those who think in terms of these are my people, these are some outsiders, these are locals, these are foreigners. Yeah. They are counted amongst the Laghu Chetasam. They are small-minded. Small-minded people think in terms of ours and theirs and me and you and get out of here, you don't belong to this country. At the immigration, you are sent back to your nation. But Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Who thinks Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? And that is Udara Charitanam. Those are Udar, magnanimous, big-hearted, and the high thinkers. Simple living and high thinking. That is also the theme of this presentation, or Vedic culture emphasizes that so much. So Udara Charitanam, that is what we need to become so that we could realize Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world, one family. Yeah, this is what is happening with this? This is Netaji Subhash Stadium 2015. These are all ISKCON delegates have gathered together, and we are commemorating the times or days Prabhupada boarded Jaladut from Kolkata and left for New York. And there was a big, which was that 50th anniversary? So, always you get to see this common brotherhood or the fraternity they talk about. Well, as I say this is not something only to talk about. We may be talking about only, but one time this was practiced, realized. We were brothers. Not we were, we are brothers. 5,000 years ago, whole world was one family, and King Parikshit was addressed in the scriptures, Mahabharata or even Bhagavata, Prithvi Pati. He was a Prithvi Pati. Prithvi means earthly planet, and he was a commander-in-chief or the emperor of the whole world. And we were all citizens of such situation. Here you go. I don't mean to immediately show you this kind of scene. Sorry. Okay. So this is I am Nijaha Paro Vetti, Russia and Ukraine. They're battling, and this is just but one, maybe dominating battle or war. There are hundreds of battles are taking place right now on the planet. And of course, this is the age of Kali, and what age of Kali is known for what? Coral. As soon as you land on the Kolkata train station, immediately you see coral. I don't know, Bengali Prabhus are kind of known for little something. Immediately begin battling. The world has seen, how do we go back? Okay, this is 1914. It's not a Russian battle, it's another battle. I think it was also in Russia. 1914 to 18, that was the First World War. This is the Second World War. I think this is before, you were, anyone here from those days? Has anyone seen? No. So that was World War II. I just want to make a simple point. And what about the Kurukshetra, Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra? Wasn't that the First World War? Why in 1914, how come that becomes First World War and the other one becomes the Second World War? What happened 5,000 years ago is a world war, and that's the First World War. Historical First World War. And that the trouble with this world is full of ignorance, and what could not be said about so many things could be said about the ignorance of this world. Or popularly Prabhupada used to say, the West is blind and East or India is what? Lame. So the world is blind. Some Indians are also blind. They are in India, but they are not Bharatiyas. They are Indians. And one gentleman wanted to introduce himself to the audience, and he said, I am not Indian, मैं भारतीय हूँ. That makes some sense? मैं Indian नहीं हूँ, मैं भारतीय हूँ. So a lot of people in India, they are not Bharatiyas. So they're also ignorant. So talking of time, 5,000 years ago is also not accepted as historical times, and Mr. Darwin has come up with a theory, Darwin's theory of evolution, and he would like to think, and he has brainwashed the whole world, and he is proposing, around that time people lived in the caves, caveman, and when they wanted a battle, they would use some bricks or rocks or take a stick and fight. And you are talking of advanced war with all kinds of advanced weapons, 5,000 years, that's not possible. So, but So like that, they don't even know 5,000 years ago what happened, and there's a whole timeline, huh? We don't count. Before Christ, AD and BC they talk about. But we talk in terms of, that was in Satya Yuga that happened. Or that was in previous Kalpa, means previous day of Brahma. And Brahma he just crossed 50 years. And another 50 years to go. And one lifetime of Brahma is just but one breath of Mahavishnu, exhalation. And so time is eternal. And so these modern, ignorant fools, could we call them? They are brothers. So the world doesn't know about this. You know that. So one of my god brother, Sri Nandan Prabhu, he has written whole book, The Proof of Vedic Culture's Global Existence. He has written, in fact, many, many books. And proven. Let's read what he has to say. Just one statement. No matter what we may be in regard to our present religion, society, or country, we are all descendants of that ancient global civilization. I will not give an interpretation. Do not sleep. Help me. I don't have to repeat or... The Vedic tradition of India is the parent humanity and original ancestor of all religions. Does that make sense? This is worth reading. Of course, there are so many others. They have written books, P and Oak, if you have heard the name P and Oak. The blunders of the historians, and like that they talk about. I was in Moscow, and they had an interfaith dialogue, and I was also invited. And I was surprised to hear from one of these Russian scholar. He had to say this. He said, you know why this country has name called Russia? And he explained, he said, this country was full of rishis. Plural of rishi is what? Rishayaha. Munis is monayaha. Rishi is one, rishaya is many rishis. So this country was full of rishis, hence it is called Russia. And what about Moscow? He said, because Moscow was the capital of, is also. So he says, moksha, the goal of rishis is to attain moksha. So from moksha, one time it was called moksha, and gradually it has become Moscow, moksha. And like that, you could say about every country some. So all that is in this book and many other books. You'll find how the Vedic culture one time spread globally, everywhere. Okay, book of religion. Someone has a Bible, someone has a Quran, someone has a Guru Granth Sahib. And they are proud. They say, the book of the religion, the book of the religion. They always say, the book of the religion. But we have library of the religion. Where is the book of religion? Where is the library of religion? And even that the book, you will not find all the absolute truth in there. Lots of concocted ideas. Or I had been lately thinking, well, if I keep saying that, I will not be able to complete my presentation here. But let me just, thought came to my mind. What Krishna says, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati, glani, dharma glani. So original dharma and eternal dharma is what? Sanatan dharma, Bhagavad dharma. Now we have Sankirtan or Kirtan dharma, Nama Sankirtan dharma. But what has happened is dharma glani has taken place. Things have been lost. Hani has taken place. Glani has taken place. The step down has happened. And that is what we find in this the book of religions, the one book of religion. Yeah, that one. But God created the world. He was busy creating the world, building the world for 6 days. And 7th day, He took rest. And that was Sunday. Such a simplistic. But you go to the Vedic literature and you'll find how the world was created and the complexities of the world. So Prabhupada also said, the book of religion, these are some pocket dictionaries, and Gita, Bhagavad, other Vedic literature is a what? Oxford dictionary, the Oxford, encyclopedia. Okay? This fellow, we should not be even looking at his face or what to do, and his name is also mentioned there. He was a Muslim invader. He came to Nalanda, and he was saying, when we have the book of religion, what need is there to these all other books? And he lit the whole university. And what was in there? The content, the library of the book, it was burning for 4 months to 6 months. They were burning. You could imagine the volume of literature. And for higher studies, the whole world used to come to India. Now we are going for higher education, overseas education. Go to Canada, go to England, go to Australia. This is nonsense. And of course, that is not higher education, lower education. If you want to get lower education, you go there. The higher education available here, VIHE. The Vedic knowledge, I will not. It is just a whole tree. Nigama kalpa taror, galitam, whole tree. Shruti and Smriti, and in Shruti there's a Vedas and Vedangas and Upavedas, and the Smriti part has all these tantras and Panchatantra and Puranas. There's 18 Puranas. What are the 18 Puranas? The history. 18 Puranas have a history, historical account. History is called itihas. You know how the word itihas comes about? Iti means like this. Asa. So it happened. So it happened. Asa. So Puranas are talking of the history, going back in the history, millions of years into the past, and all over the universes. Doesn't talk of history of the king, ek tha raja, ek thi rani, and uski kahani. So but even the history of other planets, history of other universes, of course, the history and account of what happens in the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha Lokas and Sakit and Golok. World's University was established, the first one, 700 before Christ. So they all talk in terms of Christ, so many years before, so many years after, as if the world came into being around that time. That is, it's not true at all. Vedic list, this is just a small list. In a Vedic literature, Hari, about the puja and part and, deity worship, and this is very little about from the Vedic literature. There's so much more out there is about these subjects: space science, weather forecast, space research, astronomy, commerce, agriculture, mechanics, metallurgy, archery and battling. This whole Upaveda called Dhanurveda is Upaveda. And Ayurveda is also one Upaveda. Health and medicine and geography and the time and geology, mining and solar energy and communication, how to build planes. And like that. Zoology, biologistic, water management, horticulture, history, and on and on and on. Sthapatya, architect and building. So actually nothing was left to our imagination. Lord did not want us to do some homework or discoveries. When the world was created, Lord also provided all the knowledge. He revealed that Tene Brahmarudaya Adi Kavaye unto Brahma, and we see 4 Vedas coming from 4 mouths of Brahma, and so knowledge was available at the very beginning of the creation. As we also say, Vedic texts, like they are manual. Manual, you understand manual? There's manual for everything. How to manage, how to repair, how to fix, how to maintain, how to know about the product. So it's all that we need to know. Prabhupada also made. All that we need to know is already made known in the form of these scriptures. Books are the basis. More universities here, Takshashila, now it is in Pakistan, and even Ratnagiri had a university in Konkan, and Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai, already I told you about that. Here you see the children all over India, Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai. And then I realized Krishna being the common father, common seed-giving father of all the living entities. And that makes our head of our family, or our father, Supreme Father, is Krishna. If you like to call him Allah, that's fine. You know, we say Allah, Allah, but these Allah folks, they won't say Krishna, Krishna. This is the trouble. We say Allah, but they say Krishna. You said it, but you're not a Muslim. But if their lips are a little bit open, and you say, Krishna. You very close there. So this is the trouble. Religions are expected to be unity factor, to unite the family, whole humanity, but they are dividing. Really. Oh, where are you going? Just came to my mind. We just had a nice kirtan in Toronto on a street called Yonge Street, a very famous street called Yonge Street. And we had very nice kirtan, and we are back in the van and about to go back to the temple. One gentleman, I don't know whether it was a gentleman, you would know if he was not a gentleman. He came to where I was sitting in the front door. I rolled down my screen, and he asked me, where are you going? I said, going to the temple. He said, no, you're not going to the temple. And he pulled his Bible, and he said, do you accept Jesus in your heart? Well, I did not even respond. He said, you are going to hell. While we just had a nice time doing kirtan. You are going to hell. So this culture is lacking. We are world family, and the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it's not there. I am nijaha paro veti business goes on. But there was here, Saint Francis of Sicily, Italy, monk of 13th century. He had this realization. Whenever he would see birds and trees and moon, sister moon, brother bird, and he would address them like that. Prabhupada said that he had this realization, Panditaha Samadarshinaha, seeing everyone with equal vision. So we are one family. So, okay, I think that's coming up. India was never, Prabhupada said, India was never a boundary on a map for Prabhupada, okay, who propagated Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, nurturing and guiding the world, this is a Prabhupada's quote, the world tendency of going towards one state, one human society. I think he writes this also in the Srimad Bhagavatam foreword or introduction. World tendency is towards one world, one family. So this is in New York. Whenever Prabhupada would pass by this UNO building, each time he would notice, there's another flag, another flag. And he would say, what kind of United Nation? This is disunited nation. So one time there was only one flag, Chaitanya's flag or Krishna's flag. But now there are so many, many flags, and they still call it United Nation. It's getting disunited. What happened? You're happy because it's getting disunited, or? Okay, I think with this, so that was some statements of the vision of this presentation, one world, one family. And the part two, okay, God made the country or the world, and what did man do is a question. Man made the mess. Thank you, I was expecting precisely that kind of answer. So God made the country or the world, and what did man do? In fact, I'm working on a book project with that title. I have one book coming up. Nice, right? See the God-made country, beautiful, clean, green, peaceful, and It's also saying that says God made the country and man made the town, they say. Man made the town. And passion and okay, in Bombay, 77, Prabhupada gave a last lecture series. This was his last lecture series. You could imagine this is 77, month of April. No more public presentations, or this was the last one at Azad Maidan. And Prabhupada, the theme of that 7-day talk was, you could read, what does it say? Modern civilization is total failure, and that's half the part. The other part, I think it is there. You could read here. Solution is, our only alternative is Krishna consciousness. This was way back in 77, Prabhupada said that. And since then and now, so much more mess, or the failures have become so very obvious and clear. And Hari. So Prabhupada talked about this failure and the mess. Chief Minister of Maharashtra was present and he addressed. Gopal Krishna Maharaj was involved organizing this event. Giriraj Prabhu also, he was Prabhu that time. And Prabhupada is, he was, Prabhupada was sick and weak and very frail. We had to literally lift him and put him on his asan. But once he had a microphone, he was roaring like a lion and scaring everybody and making the point. Modern civilization is total failure. Only alternative is Krishna consciousness. Okay, here is agrarian. There are two economies in this world. I don't know whether you were thought of this, but there are two kinds of economies. One is called agrarian, land and the cow base. Agrarian, agriculture, agrarian. Other one is industrial economy. And for past 500 years, I think it was inaugurated 500 years ago, when someone was discovering India and they landed up in America. Who was that? Columbus. And the industrial civilization began. Around the same time, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago, and the Western civilization, industrial civilization, modern civilization, all this science, technology, business, this is being experimented for past 500 years. Falena parichiyet, you're judged by the result. So, are they successful? Have they made progress? Regress. Sometimes it is not understood. Or really, should I? Like in my village, I just remember that with a population of 4,000 people, good old days and healthy air, healthy food, everything natural and simple living, high thinking. And so we used to get one doctor riding on bicycle from nearby village. He would come to see whether anyone is sick, needs some help. Every Thursday, I think he would come. But some Thursdays, he would not find any customer. And he would be disappointed and go back empty pocket. But in the same village, very recently, they opened a medical center. And the medical officer came, he cut the ribbon, everyone clapped. Think, hey, we also have a little hospital in our village now. Used to be in the big towns, villages, cities or towns. Now our village also has a small dispensary. Oh, we are no less. So the villagers thought this is a progress. Is that a progress? Not at all. So like that. Hari Hari. This is my brother, in fact, in the village, singing.
Between the farmer and his bulls that are peaceful by nature, obedient and friendly. The bull is gradually being replaced with the tractor. Some farmers nowadays play passionate cinema music to overpower the noise of the tractor. There is no more peace. One may argue that by using the tractor, the agricultural products increase in quantity. But at what cost?
At what cost is a question. Maybe producing more grains, but at what cost? Those grains are full of chemicals, and then more hospitalization, and people are living in style and dying in style in 5-star hotels, no, 5-star hospitals. Well, die in a style, lifestyle, living style and dying style. Hari Hari. I call this boomerang effect, industrial economy, you could say. Coming back and crushing and kicking the human race into the face. Yeah, you agree? You better agree. So air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, light pollution, noise pollution, thermal pollution, radioactive pollution, and on and on and on, which is also called Kaler Dosha. What? Nidhe Rajan. The age of Kali is full of faults. And all our basic necessities, what do we need every day? You need air, right? That's polluted. You need water, water pollution. Food, it is polluted. The worst thing is the mind pollution. As a result, we are now mentally sick, which is worse. And in scriptures, there's a vyadhi and adhi is mentioned. Vyadhi is a physical, body is sick, and adhi is when mind is sick. Take a pick, which would you prefer? Of course, none. None of this, but if you had a choice, you would go for, okay, some vyadhi is okay, but adhi, mental, you're doomed. So mental hospitals are also becoming full. They say, maybe it's coming up, but 2 out of 5 Americans are fit for the mental hospitals. Sorry, Americans, too. And okay. So mind pollution. I mean, we eat, okay, we drink water how many times? Maybe 5, 7, 8 times. How many times we eat? 3, 4 times, 3 times. Breathing, how many? 20 times, 18 times per minute. How many times we think? All the time we think. And there's a big point here, but I don't have this that whole. Hari Hari. So the food pollution. Oh no. Water pollution is worse than food pollution. And then air pollution is worse than water pollution. And the mind pollution is worst compared to other pollutions. And that mind is polluted, water is polluting so many times only, and food is polluting us so many times a day only, and breathing air pollution is so many times per minute. But what the worst pollution, mind pollution, which is polluting us every second, every minute, second, moment, which is the worst one, and that is the social media key. And all the internet key and all that key, and just quickly understand. I have verse dhyato vish. As one contemplates on sense objects, what happens? Dhyato vishang sangasteju upajayate. You develop some attachment to that sense object. And then from that comes lust, and from that comes anger. When you are angry, what happens? You can't even think straight. Smriti bhramshat buddhi nasho. Your buddhi, intelligence is finished. And buddhi nashat pranashyati. You are finished, doomed, go to hell. So I do not see, if we go on the way we are going on, अच्छे दिन आएंगे. We are always, अच्छे दिन आएंगे, अच्छे दिन. Will the world ever see good days? We are already seeing the worst days, bad days. Will this improve? No. It's going to become from bad to worst only if we do not revolutionize, change whole mindset of. So this internet and the whole media, electronic media, print media, breaking the news, they are soil infertility. This is going on in the age of Kali. Global warming, you heard of this warning of the global warming? Mother Earth, on whose lap we reside or survive, or one who is feeding us. One of the 7 mothers for us is Mother Earth. I think the whole world, not only Indians say Mother Earth, America they say Mother Earth. Yes? They don't say? In Europe, do they say Mother Earth? Yeah? They say Mother Australia. They would also say. So this is everyone says Mother Earth. Mother Earth is feeding us. All our necessities are provided by Vasundhara, it's called Vasundhara. All the resources for our needs or survival come from. And that earth, Mother Earth, is on fire. And we all put together, we are kind of burning, and the temperature is going high. I think it's about 2 now. And it is rising. As a result, the glaciers, North Pole, are melting. And all that water is coming down to the oceans. And ocean levels would be rising. And Bombay is going to be in Jalasamadhi, parts of Bombay. Not Navi Mumbai, you're safe. But some islands like Mauritius, they may not be visible. They'll be all drowned. So big disasters are awaiting the humanity. I mean, we'll be out of here very soon. But who knows, we may be coming back in another. And then we'll have to... The deforestation is what human beings are doing. Cutting trees, cutting trees, cutting trees, cutting trees. Amazon forest, either they burn it or cut it. And the 20% of the oxygen needed by human beings comes from Amazon forest. Probably you have not heard this, but this is a true story. 20% of all oxygen needed by us, humans, source of that is Amazon forest. Other forests also, they're contributing, but this is a big, huge forest. And if it is cut, and who knows what else they do. When they cut, they set up industry there. Or what is happening? The next parties arrived, and our time is up. Go faster. Animal slaughtering. What is this? They think the animals are just a piece of meat, Maharaj. So exploitation of natural resources. And you could see, you know what this one is? Did some of you go through this? Coronavirus? Anyone here had it? First-hand experience? No? You lucky fellows. Either you are not understanding what I'm saying. Oh. I'll not talk about that. So bhoga comes roga. People are greedy, comes suffering. I will not. America is a land of opportunity. Land of opportunity. Come and enjoy with us in America. But from enjoyment comes suffering. And recently they did a global survey, and what was one outcome was the most sick nation in the world is America. Americans like to be number one. So they're number one when it comes to the ill health, most unhealthy country in the world. And this is a poison of greed that Pope talked. Mahatma Gandhi said, there's enough for this planet, for everyone's needs, but not for everyone's greed. Okay, well, it's not only greed, but there's a kam, there's a krodh, madh, moha, lobh, matsar. All these enemies are attacking all of us, and we are getting defeated and crushed, and we're in big trouble. So how to get out of this? That's the next presentation, was the third part. So maybe you'll have to come back. Tomorrow is also a presentation. Yeah, so see you later. Thank you.